Good afternoon to everyone present here. On behalf of KG College of Arts and Science, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all to this AATP ATAL-sponsored activity on Explainable AI, bridging the gap between AI and human understanding. I wholeheartedly welcome our today's chief guest, Dr. Vivana, Associate Professor, Head Department of MCA, Dr. H.M. National College of Engineering, Bangalore. Welcome, Vivana. She is an experienced academician and research with over 18 years in teaching and mentoring postgraduate students in computer science, and she is a regular PhD supervisor. She organized BTFT-sponsored activity on cloud computing and virtualization, and she also acted as a resource person for activities on AI, ML, cybersecurity, and cloud technologies. Also, she is a MSME certified trainer for conducting technical training programs through online and offline. She published more than 20 publications in the reputed journals IEEE, Fringes, and Q2 journals. And also I welcome our FTP coordinator, Dr. M. Sharma, and co-coordinator, Dr. B. Satyavati ma'am of this FTP. And I welcome all the participants from the reputed institutions. I'm confident that this FTP will not only enrich our knowledge, but also inspire us to integrate the principles of explainability into our teaching, research, and future innovations in AI. Once again, I warmly welcome you all, and I wish the program a great success. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Welcome to all of you. So I believe you all had your lunch. So heavy lunch is, after the lunch, the session would really be tough for the person who is standing here, right? So anyway, it is not a technical session. So let us all share our experiences. The topic what I have is the stress and the time management. All of us, including myself, we are all opposed to that. We have to be under stress, then only we can do the activity. So let's share our experiences. Let us make the session interactive and learn from each other. That is what I feel. Okay. So before starting, I just want you all to watch one short video and let us infer what we understand from that video. I want you all to watch this video first.
pass it to mother.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
she passed it to her son,
Yeah.
and son to the
Yeah.
dog.
So then it has looped, right? So why do you think that has happened? The father, he returned from his office, and you saw the wife, she was welcoming him with a happy face. But since that man was under stress, he shouted at her. So though she was happy, she passed it on to the next person. So what we can understand from this is, stress is something that it's not just only affecting oneself, it is affecting the people who are around us. So one thing what we all have to understand is how to balance it. Having stress is good. We have to be stressed out. Otherwise, as humans or any living organism, living beings, or even for that matter, if you have to move something, say if you have to move this laptop from this place to another location, you have to put some pressure, you have to do some activity, then only it can be moved. You cannot say, okay, this just thinking that this laptop has to be kept there, I cannot keep it. So we all have to undergo a stress, but how positively we are going to take it is what we have to learn. So all of us are, of course, we are all good in balancing all that. Everybody would have undergone a challenging situation and we would have come out of that. That is why I said it is nothing new for anybody. We all undergo such kind of situations. Only the thing, I'm here to share some experiences, and maybe for the youngsters, they can understand that even we have faced the challenges and we have come to this situation wherever we are now. So for them it's a long way, and just to make them optimistic, this session is there. So let's see what so who all are experiencing this stress? Is it only the students, the employees? It's everybody, right? Everybody around us, we are all experiencing this. So nowadays it has become a concern. That is, lot of health issues, lot of negative elements have been generated, and we are seeing youngsters especially, not only youngsters, even middle-aged people or senior citizens, they are stressed out, and we see lot of health issues happening. Elders are suffering from dementia, and most of them, we see them ending up in old age homes, because we can't blame the younger generation as well, because they are also finding it very difficult for them to handle the seniors. But it is really a pathetic situation for the seniors. handle the stress in a better way. So if we try to prioritize our needs, if we try to prioritize our pressure and other things a little bit, definitely it will be possible, and we are going to create a good environment around us. So stress is a health concern, and it is not only, as I said, for the students, employees, for everybody. It is true, right? So, and what would you think? Will the stress cause change in the appetite? Will it cause a change in the appetite? So, appetite changes are not a symptom of stress. Is it true or false?
False.
It's false, right? Definitely we can see that the person who is stressed out, he would not feel like having food. He would fill himself with so many junks, or he would skip his meals, and again that would lead to some other disability. All this is what it is going to cause. And depression and anxiety, they are linked to stress. True? So it's true. And what do you think? The number of the percentage of people who are stressed out. Do you think 25% of people have trouble sleeping because of stress? So you say true or false? It is false, right? About 50%, 48 to 50% of people, we are finding it difficult to have proper sleep. They would have enough wealth, whatever, but still they are stressed out, and it becomes very difficult for them to have a peaceful sleep, to get a peaceful sleep. So that is again because of stress. So what would be the causes for the stress? Maybe money. For some of them, it depends, it varies for each individual. Few, they would be running behind money, and that would cause the stress. Work, at workplace, they would not have a good working environment, or even if the working environment is good, I cannot adapt to the working environment, I get stressed out. The research that we all take up, whether we want it or not, we have to do the research, that is again a stress. You have to publish papers, that is again a stress. So when do we think that, especially it may be the work at home or work at workplace, when do you think that we all feel stressed out? What would be the various causes whether it is at home or workplace, we get stressed out, right? What would be the cause? Common. Each one will have individual approach or individual challenges. So the common challenges that each of us will undergo is at workplace, maybe as I said, the environment where we work. It is not very comfortable for an individual. Then to cope up with that environment, an individual will get stressed out. The bosses may be very rude, or even the colleagues, they might be rude, or they might be very dominant, and all the five fingers are not the same, right? So each one of them will be different, but I should know how to adapt. If I am not open for adapting, nowhere you can find a person similar to me. Definitely you cannot find. The wavelengths may match, but I am myself. So how can I expect somebody else to be the same as I am? I cannot, right? I cannot. So what I have to do, what is my role? First, I have to open up, I have to adapt to the environment, even at home. Maybe as females, we are brought up in a different way before getting married and going to a new house. The way we have been brought up will definitely not be the same place where we go and join. So yeah, initially it takes some time for us to get adjusted, but acceptability is one thing, and you have to like stuff. See, nothing will be stressful once you start liking it, once you have the acceptance towards it. So if you take research, you have to pursue research with all enthusiasm. You would have joined. You would not. It's only the outer structure. You have the framework. You have how to conduct the research. All that you have. But once when you dwell into it, you will get to know that it is tough. When is it tough? Because you are not aware of what exactly is happening there. So what do you have to do? You have to become skillful first, isn't it? First, if you you have taken up the research in maybe the morning session you had artificial intelligence. So that is the first, that is the new trend that we are all seeing now, and lot of challenges are there. That is the new trend, and we have the fear as well. What would happen to us if AI takes over? That fear all of us have. So how can you overcome that fear is what you have to find out the source, and you have to become skillful for any task that you take up. It may be at home. Nobody will know how to cook. So initially when you start cooking, definitely it would not have turned out well. So what do? You will also be a part of that, right? You will have the food, and you will first analyze why is it not good. You will feel you have not prepared in the same way as how your mother or any other elder would have prepared. You feel it is salty, it is hot, or whatever. So what did you do? You analyzed, isn't it? You analyzed that the food prepared by you was not that up to the mark as what your elders would do. So what would you think? You start upgrading yourself. You talk to your mother, you talk to your elders, like how you can improve. What would be the steps for improvement? All this is what you keep doing, and then you probably can become a better cook than your mother, than your elders. They can appreciate you. So when you receive that appreciation, you will definitely start liking it. So you have worked to get that appreciation, but that was not the only intention. Not only to get the appreciation, you have also fed your family members, you have fed yourself. So what did you do? If you try only to cook to receive the appreciation, then you will feel that stress. But instead, if you feel that you are giving something good to your people around, then you will not feel that stress. So when I go back home, I have to cook. Oh, after such a long day, again I have to go back and cook. If I start feeling that, then it's a stress. If I start feeling, okay, what shall I make? I should also enjoy that, and I should also make others enjoy. So shall I make this? I discuss with my colleagues who are there here. So they will also get motivated, and they will also in turn go back home with a good mood is what I feel. So working environment will also be good, and when you go back home, again you create a good environment. So when there is a positive environment, definitely the vibes will everybody will start thinking positively. But definitely, we are all humans. Not every day is the same. I may be positive, how much ever I talk, but even I'll undergo all the one one or the other day I feel exhausted and I say today I can't. Oh, it's okay. You take the rest. It's something like you have published a paper. It's not that you have to publish more and more. You publish 2 papers and you are working on an important paper and you feel exhausted. Just relish what you have done and take a pause. That pause will definitely add up more energy for you. It's nothing that you have to run behind anything and acquire some things in shortcuts. When you are doing it in shortcuts, then you will feel more stressed. Give a pause, do it. Everybody will have that exhaustive feeling in one or the other way. You have to listen to that. So whenever you feel exhausted, talk to yourself. Give a care within you. Before giving to anybody, you first have to start learning to care yourself. So at that point of time, you give a pause and try to do other activities. Then definitely you will gain more energy and have focus. So as I said, money, the stress, when you are only having the intention of earning, making money, that could cause stress. So if your only focus is to make money, and you will have to face the stress, the challenges, whatever you have to undergo. So that you have to accept. Okay, if I have to make this, if I have set the target that I need to make money, I have to have these many shares, stocks and shares, and I have to have bungalows, all that. If I have set the goal that way, I should also set a goal as to how I have to reach there. Without having a proper goal, if I try to run behind money, then I'll feel that stress. It's not bad to have a goal, set a goal that I have to make money, I have to be a billionaire. Nothing is wrong in doing that. Then that is why we see so many people who are with proper systematic way. We see lot of people who have money, but we don't know the source, like how they have got that much money. But there are certain set of people who have really worked hard for that, and they are enjoying, and they know how to balance with how to reach there, and also after reaching there, they know how to distribute it also in a good way. So such people can never feel that stress of making money. You enjoy and do that, definitely it will help you. And then work, I discussed. Work I will discussed, and the relationships again. If you have too much of expectations from any relation, it may be your parents, it may be your spouses, or it may be your students. We as teachers, we expect a lot, or from the management. If we try to analyze the environment, if we have that acceptance, then the relationships will also be very smooth. As I said, all of us cannot be the same. So we have to look into the positive and the negative points in an individual with whom we are surrounded. So if you feel that you can be compatible with so many positive aspects, definitely you have to identify that and make it a point. So socializing is very, very important when it is with respect to relationships. Nowadays, that is what we are missing. Thanks to the gadgets, and that is the gadgets again we have only invented. many of them, they blame the youngsters, but I don't blame the youngsters. It is our generation who brought in all this facilities to the youngsters. And now we tell the youngsters, no, you should not use this, you should not use that. We have given the technology to them. So we should also teach them where and how they have to use, where should they limit. We have to give time. The personal time should also be given to the youngsters, and we should be patient enough with the youngsters to share our experiences. The live experiences, we have to be creative while we share the experiences. They have to get a feeling that even in the current situation, they can also have all such kind of experiences. One way, like when we were youngsters and when we were in schools and colleges, we never had a teachers or anybody coming and giving us a session on stress management. We all would go attend the classes, then go and have fun. We would play, isn't it? All of us, we played and we never bothered to come home early, sit with our books. Even after 7 o'clock, if we were allowed, we would play. So that was the stress buster for us. We would play, we would get involved in extracurricular activities. Nowadays, we are seeing that there is a lack in such activities. Youngsters, they don't have the chance to go out and play. They don't have the socialization. They don't have their peer enjoying that. So that we have to cultivate them, cultivate in them. We have to allow the youngsters to be little, take it easily. Don't. We should not, as elders, we should not pressure them that you have to do this. Seeing the other children, we should not pressure, saying that, see, that boy has got the seat in a prestigious college. You should also work for that, and you have to also get. Everybody will have their own cup of tea. God has sent us like that. It is only everybody are equally created by Him. It's only how we inculcate the habits. What are the habits that we inculcate is what we become. So the relationships, all this is one of the major causes for stress. It is true. So what exactly the stress is? It is a feeling of being overwhelmed or unable to cope with mental or emotional pressure. Overwhelming situation, that is in I don't know, in Kannada we call sthita pragnate. I don't know in Tamil what they say. That is not to react much for any situation. You should not feel very happy or you should not feel very sad. So when you are in that situation, that is if you take things as it is. So if say you win a lottery of 1 crore. So if I get that, how should I react? If I take it, okay, 1 crore lottery, okay, what can I do with this? Let me think about it. If I take it that way, maybe I'll not be under stress. Oh, I've got 1 crore. Okay, then I'll be enjoying for that moment. Then tomorrow, one of my colleagues, she might get 2 crores. So what would my feeling change? Oh, I got only 1 crore. She got 2 crores. So she is in a better position than me. That is what I start feeling. So yesterday I was very happy. Today I have become sad. So I should not allow my mind to enter into such situations. So whether it is happy situation or sad situation. Everything should be taken as it is. So we have to live in the present. So that is the feeling. Even if you are overwhelmed or if you are unable to cope up with some situations, then you will feel that pressure. It's something, the body that naturally responds to any demand, the challenge or the pressure. It can be physical, mental or even emotional. It is the way that your body and the mind react when we feel threatened or overloaded or unable to cope up with the situation. So this is the actual, we all have faced this situation. Everyone, we have faced this situation. Only the time where we have not undergone this situation is when we were infants, isn't it? Said stress, it looks different for each individual and everyone. Actually, as humans, we will have the intelligence to deal with it. It is something that the God has given it as a gift, not only for humans. You can see animals, they are also stressed out and they come out of it. As human beings, we are more intelligent, so definitely it is possible for us to balance it even better. And many times we have the opportunity to learn from the other living beings, that is animals and birds. So many, if you take up the eagle, how confidently it flies. So watch them, watch the eagle. Definitely you will start aiming high. So when you start aiming high, what you would have seen an ant moving in a straight line, working hard to get its food. So you can relate. So to aim high, you should also follow the discipline. You should also be working hard. Look at the bee that is there around. The bee, it is such a hard working organism that we can see. So all these are some examples wherein we can get it from the nature. So man has that intelligence, so make use of it. So and it is always going to be beneficial for us when we take the examples. It is not necessary for any individual to always go and seek help. First, question yourself. Why? What is the source? Why am I feeling that I cannot face this challenge? Am I not capable? If you start questioning, you will definitely have the result. We have you have to be curious enough to learn things. So when you learn things, definitely you will know the way to manage the things. See, suppose let us take the example of the chat GPT. We are all finding it easy because we are in this field. If I go and ask my mother, who is about 80 years old, I asked her, use chat GPT, you will get it. If I tell if she comes and asks me if she shares her problem, I cannot go and tell her that use chat GPT, you will learn from that. I cannot. So how has she learned? She has learned looking into the environment. Sorry. Can I attend this call, please? happens when we are stressed out. When we are stressed, the body releases hormones. Hormones are very vital, have a very vital role in our body, isn't it? So these, when we are stressed out, it releases hormones like adrenaline, cortisol, which creates a environment wherein we end up in a situation where we have to seek everything that we see. We will end up having a situation that we want it. Our wants increase and we feel that at any cost we have to acquire that. That is the situation we will end up. So when we tend to do that, what happens to your heartbeat? It increases. Your muscles, they also tend, something, if you want something, you will put more and more pressure on it. So the muscles, the breathing, everything get affected. So first and foremost is the hormones. They start releasing all such adrenaline and cortisol hormones are released so much, and they make the situation even more worse. So how exactly we have to handle them is what we are going to see. So what are the symptoms that we undergo when we are under stress? It can be emotional symptoms, and when you have such emotional symptoms, what happens? You get easily agitated, frustrated. As you saw in the video, he was under stress. So what did he do? It was so easy for him to have entered the house with a smile, but he didn't do that. And his wife gave a smile, but still he didn't respond to that. Because he was under stress. That was the emotional stress he carried from his workplace to home. Never ever carry the stress between these two places. You will have the stress here, you leave it here. You have the stress at home, you leave it there and come. You have to come with a fresh mind. As I said, acceptance. You will have to have acceptance in whatever situation you are. If you accept that, that is the first and foremost remedy, that is the best remedy that we will all have. Accept whatever that is. Yeah, okay, this is the way that things are. Let us accept and see what best we can bring out from that. So you easily get agitated, frustrated, or your mood, you will have so much of mood swings. Sometimes you are very happy, that is overwhelming situations. And when the situation is not according to your expectations, you feel agitated, you feel angry, you feel sad, you feel depressed. So all that mood swings will happen. And as I said, feeling overwhelmed, having difficulty in relaxing and easing your mind, you become so restless. When you are agitated, you become very restless. Say, suppose you have to wait for the bus to reach the workplace or to reach the college. If you haven't planned properly and if you have not reached the bus stop on time, you will feel that stress. The class is at 9 o'clock and it will take 20 minutes to reach, but you have reached the bus station at 8:50. Definitely you will feel that stress, isn't it? You know that you would require 20 minutes to reach the place. Even if you get the bus on time or whatever, as soon as you come, if you get the bus, still you will require 20 minutes. You are depending on some other source. So you cannot ask the bus driver to take you to the college within 10 minutes. That's not possible at all. So at that point of time, what will you undergo? You will undergo stress and you become restless. So So suppose somebody is sitting next to you, talks to you in a polite way, you will not respond to that person in a polite way. You will shout at that person, you will yell at that person. Because you are in stress, you will face all such negative situations. So and due to that, so something this low self-esteem and depression, when will you start undergoing this? See, suppose the same thing is continuing with an individual. I am becoming restless. Every day I yell at each other. Even at home or even in my workplace, I yell at my colleagues. When I go back home, I yell at my children or my spouse, whatever. So at that point of time, 1 or 2 days, they will say, okay, maybe she was under stress and that is the reason she was acting like that. But if I develop the habit of doing that, who will respect me? Nobody will give the respect. So what will happen? The socializing among the people, that will come down. When that is not there, definitely I will not have the confidence. My confidence level will also become low, and my self-esteem will also become low. So when I don't have people around me, I get depressed. I don't have anybody with whom I can go and share my difficulties, my happiness, leave about difficulties. You want to have people around wherein you can go and share your happiness. You can't go and tell a computer, you can't tell a chat GPT, hey look, today I won 1 crore in the lottery and I'm feeling happy. How will that react? Isn't it? But when you go and say it to your mother, or when you go and say it to a family member, definitely you can share the happiness. Not only the sad portion, you also want people wherein you can share your happiness. So when you don't have people around, definitely you will feel depressed. That loneliness will make you depressed, and again that's a concern. And you will also see the situations wherein you will try to avoid meeting people. You don't want to socialize with people. You don't want to attend any events. You don't want to attend any family functions. So you start avoiding meeting people, and then your eating habits would also, either you would overeat or you might not eat at all, or you start eating some unwanted junks. You start eating. So when your eating habits are not good, it will have an impact on your physical appearance. First thing, that is what it will do. Either we will become very obese or we become very lean, pale. So that is how it affects your body. So as I said, the emotional stress will lead to the physical symptoms, and these physical symptoms, what we undergo is always low energy. You will not have energy to do any task. If you are given time to watch the movie, if you are in a stressful situation, though you are fond of watching movies, you don't feel like watching the movie. Correct? You are a fan of Rajnikant, but a new movie that is there, if you are stressed out, that will also not help. Correct? So you don't have energy, you can't do anything. Lot of headaches, migraine headaches you will have, and then the stomach appetite, I told you, that will upset. It's very sad. We are seeing this more and more in the younger people, younger generation nowadays. They have lot of cardiac issues. It's quite alarming. You can see small kids also facing all this kind of stress, which we never even knew that word. What is stress When we were children, we never even knew. But nowadays kids, they teach us. My 8-year-old niece, she says she has a lot of activities to do. She is in Canada. She has a lot of activities to do. So she says, you know what? Today it was a very stressful day. That's how she says. Though she has done something good, but still she feels that she was pushed to do that. So that's the way that children are reacting. Maybe they are not good enough. You can't make the child to do everything. You should know what their interests, and you have to allow them to take up only the activities in which they are interested. If we try to push, maybe we can give a try. Okay, if she is good in swimming, I can take her. Then I should not pressure her. I can show her various ways, but I have to observe. If she is good in something, allow her to pursue that instead of putting her in all other activities. So that's how we can. So this is one alarming situation. Lot of middle-aged people, they are having frequent heart attacks. Some can recover from it, some unfortunately they cannot recover. Stents and bypass surgeries, so many, it has increased in number. And insomnia, there is sleeplessness, many are suffering from this. And then nervousness, and you feel less confidence, low self-esteem. When it is very less, you will feel that nervousness. You cannot face the person who is sitting opposite you. So that is the physical symptoms that we can see when we are stressed out. And what are these cognitive symptoms? So emotional, physical, and this is something that is cognitive. Normally, when we take up research, if we want to do the research, we also consider the cognitive behavior, right? So what exactly this cognitive behavior is? You keep constantly worrying. It may be for good or it may be for bad. Whatever, you will not live in the present. You keep thinking, what next, or you will be thinking about your past. Whatever that happened yesterday, why did she do that? Why did she do that to me? Why did he do that to me? It was not right on his part to do that. And even after years together, if you meet that person, if you remember that past one bad incident with that person, if you try to recall, again, it's causing distress. That person will not undergo anything. If you say, suppose two people, if they have fought, and the other person would have forgotten the situation, or he would have given up that, he would have apologized, he would have had the concern over the other person and the apology or whatever, he would have apologized that person, and the other person he still carries. And even after meeting him after a few years, when he sees that person, that particular incident, if it comes to his mind, he is under stress. And I feel that I should not talk to the person. That person, the other person will not gain or lose anything. He will be normal. It's only me. I will find out reason that why I should not talk to him. And even if I talk to him, how much control I should have while I speak to him. All that is going to create a stress in my behavior, in my character. So that is constantly I keep worrying about how to cope up with the situation, or with the situation that is going to happen in the next moment, or what happened in the previous moment. So that is the constant worrying, racing thoughts. That is also there. That is again the cognitive symptom. Inability to focus. again, this is one alarming phrase that we have to have it in mind. All of us nowadays, we have, even as teachers, the way I taught 10 years before, it's not the same. The way I would sit and prepare for my classes, I'm not doing it nowadays. I've lost the focus. Why did I lose the focus? The system has changed. Maybe I did not get adjusted to the system properly. So the system has it has so much of information, I don't know from where I have to get the information. The relevant information I don't have. I feel that okay, that particular web page gave me good information, so I try to look into that, and suddenly somebody says, no, that is not good, you go and browse this website, it will give you more information. I switch over to that. Then somebody else says that, I move there. I don't have a focus. Earlier, when somebody said this book is good, we would buy that book, or we would borrow it from the library, we would read that. We had some restrictions. To borrow the book from the library, I could borrow only 2 books. So I had to manage with those 2 books itself. Even though other person says that these 2 books are not good, the other books are good, I didn't have the opportunity to go and borrow those books because I had the limit of borrowing only 2 books. So I would learn to manage with that, but now that is not the situation. If this is not there, that is there. That is not there, the other thing is there. So that is where we are losing our focus. Okay, I am not getting the references, proper references for my research in this portal. I go to the other portal. I publish my paper here. No, it is not giving me the response quickly. I want to publish my paper in some publication where it accepts my paper in a quicker way. So that's how I jump. So that is causing stress. If I have some patience and wait, okay, I have applied for a Q2 journal, definitely it will take some time. And I know that whatever work that I've put my own efforts, and it will take time. Let it take its own time. Meanwhile, if I work on some other thing, definitely it will be a fruitful one. But if you try to withdraw from that and try to apply in journal where it can get published quickly, that will not, might be that at that moment it gets published, but it will not last for a long time. It will lose its reputation. So once when it loses its reputation, it will start that stress. So for everything, you will have to have patience and stay focused. Poor judgment. We will not be judging things in an appropriate way. We will not be in a position to use our intelligence. So unnecessarily, you will also become judgmental on situations. Though you might not, you are not the concerned person, you judge, you start judging. So all this, when you are stressed out, you will do all such activities. And behavioral symptoms of stress, procrastinating. What is procrastinating? Postponing. We keep postponing things. When we postpone, say, as I said, you have to submit your assignment. The mentor would have told that, see, I will give you 1 week's time. You work for that and you submit on so and so date. So a deadline has been given. You will feel that, okay, 1 week time I have, no? So let me do it. Saturday she has asked me to submit. I have still 5 more days. Let me wait. Say I go and watch a movie. keep a slot wherein you have to start working for the assignment. So if you postpone it until Friday, what will happen? Friday, there is some situation wherein you have to stay back in college until 5 o'clock, you can't even go home, and by the time you reach home it will be late, you are exhausted. First thing is, you will understand that you have only these many hours wherein you have to complete, and you also know that you can't do it in such a small time span, so you will get stressed out. So why did that happen? Because I kept on postponing. All of us tend to do that. That's the human nature. Okay, let me do it tomorrow. Let me do it tomorrow. That tomorrow never comes. That shouldn't happen. Give a pause and take it. Yeah, we all have to take it lightly. Not everything should be in a very disciplined way. Too much of discipline is also going to cause stress. Too much of punctuality is also going to cause stress. So you should know when you have to pause, when you have to make it fast, or that balancing we should know. So, and eating too much or too little, increased use of alcohol, drugs, all these negative ones, and exhibiting nervous behaviors, that is, normally they tend to bite their nails, or they will hide their faces. Somebody comes home, they don't want to show their face, they will just go and stay in a room with their gadgets. You can see they will always be using their mobile phones, or they will be with their laptops. They would not socialize. So that would be the behavioral symptoms you can see in the person when he or she is stressed out. So these stressors, you can get it from any source. That is, it can be from an event, it can be some forceful condition which will result in physical or emotional stress, and it can be, these stresses can be from internal or external sources. So as I said, we have to identify the source, whether the stress is from external or internal is what we have to see. So external stress, it is the time pressure, as I said, the deadlines wherein we have to meet when we are at work, employees, they will have the deadlines. These many papers has to be published in this semester. 2 papers in this semester. So what we feel is 6 months are there. In a year, 4 papers have to be published. So first half 6 months, 2 papers, second half 6 months, 2 papers. So January they will announce. What will I do? Oh, it's still January. I have time till June. I know that I cannot publish a proper paper in 6 months. One paper would definitely, if it has to be a proper Q2 journal, it would take at least a year time if I have to really concentrate on the work. If now we have so many artificial intelligence tools. 4 or 5 years back, we never had all that, right? So even though I know that it is not possible for me to do it in 1 or 2 months, from January I should have planned. I didn't plan. So June, I'll get a mail saying that to fill the details as to where my papers have been published. So what will I do? What will I do? I'll talk to my colleague. Did you do it? She will say, no, even I didn't do. And some other person, he would have already published. Both of us, we start getting stressed. Oh, it's already June, June 1st, and we have to show the result by June 30th. So in 30 days, how can we publish 2 papers? So I get stressed, and similarly with the students also, even with other types of employees. So we have to plan. So that is the external stress we all undergo: work pressure, environment, and then this peer pressure that is there in all of us. You think it's not only for the people who come out and work, it is there with the children, small children as well. They have more. And even with the homemakers, even with in every aspect, you can see that peer pressure. In their own field, when they compare themselves with the other person, they will be under pressure. A farmer also, for that matter. Farmer is considered to be the coolest person in our country. But nowadays, even those farmers, they are under peer pressure. That's the way we are moving. We know that technology has advanced, but sometimes we also think, why did we move? Why was it really necessary? Was it really necessary for such advancements? We'll also start feeling that. So that is the peer pressure, the friends pressure, the seniors pressure, dominant seniors if we have. Definitely we are pressured. Boss, if a boss is very dominant, not very friendly, we would have come across such situations. I had a boss where he was not very dominant, but he was trying to behave that he was very dominant. He was insecure by himself, and so he was trying to dominate us. Most of them who dominate, you can analyze that they will be insecure. So their situation is that kind. That is the reason they claim to dominate, whether it is at home or whether it is at workplace. You will see the person whoever dominates, you will have to first analyze. Then you will know how to handle them. You should not hate them. See, hating or loving, again, that will cause stress. Too much of hatredness, too much of attachment, that will again cause stress. So that is the reason I told you will have to accept the situation as it is. Live for the present moment. You should not think too much about the future or about the past. So toxic environment, again, as I said, that would also create pressure. The surrounding is very pessimistic surrounding. Okay, if you go and tell your colleague that you want to do this, then that person, if he or she is very demotivating, you are living in a toxic environment. Very demotivating. For whatever you say, that other person says, no, this cannot happen, this is not possible. Right? Okay.
Yeah, he complete this.
So other one is internal stress. I have to identify why I am feeling that stress. What is that I have to analyze myself. So every person will have a fear, every person will have a strength in one or the other way. We have to have. So I should be scared of some things, I should be bold with some certain things, all that should be there. But when this fear overpowers your strength, then you will feel that stress. When you lose that confidence, that though you are capable, you feel that you cannot do it. You have the fear of failure. Okay, at that point of time, I could do it because I was capable. Now, I don't know whether I can achieve this or not. That negative thoughts, when you start getting, you will have that inner fear. So when that inner fear is troubling you too much, you will be under stress. You cannot come out of it, and you cannot do things as it is, as how you were doing it earlier. And then ego. Ego is the one which is going to kill you. Positive egos are good, and for certain extent you have to have ego. If you don't have that ego, then you cannot handle your esteem. You have to have ego, but too much of that, you see, without me that cannot be done. That you shouldn't develop. Or you should not block your mind. You should have the openness to learn. When you say something, if the other person doesn't accept, it's okay. It doesn't mean that whatever you say is correct and they have to take it the way, like how you expect them to take. No, not necessarily. If you feel that they have to also react to you in the same way, then your ego is high. When your ego is high, you will not have the openness, open-mindedness you will not have. And you will always nurture your ego, and it will cause more and more stress. When you keep nurturing that, it causes more and more stress. And addiction, I did not say. So when you are stressed out, you are addicted to something. Addictions again vary. Some of them they keep watching movies, some of them they keep browsing, and few they keep nowadays with online shopping. With so much of addictions, they keep buying things online. That is also an addiction. That is also not good. So when you are stressed out, you tend to do all that. And the viewpoints also. So let's see the next. We have understood what is stress. We have also analyzed the inner and the external stress. We will see how to overcome in the after the break. Short break. Hope I am not boring you people, because this is not my topic. Usha made me come and speak about this. All these years I have been speaking to technical topics. I don't know how I am coming out.
Before that, shall we take a group photo? Many people want to leave early. Group photo எடுத்துட்டு group photo evening தான் வேணும் evening எல்லாரும் வர
Only the projector can.
Okay, they can come to sit here. Come. Rest of them look here, Allah.
I can't expect ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದೆಷ್ಟು ಅದನ್ನೇ ಅವಾಯ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೂ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ತಿನ್ನೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಮದುವೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಸೆಪ್ಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹಂಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು ಅರೌಂಡ್ 800 to 850 people maximum ನೀವು ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನೋ ಅನ್ನಿ ನೋ ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ ಸೊ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ವೆರೈಟೀಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಜನ ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ